so we get a chance to know who's here, and then we'll talk a little bit about how the meeting's gonna be run today after we do that, okay? I have a 21-year-old who's gone through the system, doing very well, goes to Westfield State, dean student, who's been working on his internships for the fall. He's gonna stay a 5th year, and then Don is about to graduate, who's doing really well too.
Melissa Sullivan, I have a 9th grader and a 6th grader.
Yeah, sure.
Dawn Townsend, I have a 3rd grader.
My name is Deborah Dudek. I have a 5-year-old in the preschool right now, a typical year, and I also have a 2-year-old who has hearing loss and will be entering the school system at some point in the future.
Welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Dawn Metcalf. I have a 12-year-old who does not go to school in district and a 10-year-old autistic.
Hi, I'm Carrie Woodbury. I have a 10th grader, I have a 6th grader, and I have a 4th grader.
Oh, I'm Christina. I have a kindergartner, a 5th grader, 9th grader, and one, I don't know.
Mary Hurwitz, I have a 16-year-old, soon to be 17, sort of outplaced, and a 7th grader.
Diane Reynolds, I have an 18-year-old. Michelle Gustafson, I have a 12-year-old and an 9-year-old in district, and I'm actually here in the capacity as an administrative intern. I'm working in my school district on intervention systems and really refining and solidifying our systems of intervention. So I thought this was a really good opportunity to see how you're doing this in this district, and also to ascertain more about how the Suffield district is developing relationships with parents and communicating and really making them a part of the learning process.
So you live in town? Yeah.
I live in town. I live in town. I do live
You
in
live
town.
in town, but you're interning for a different school
Yes.
district.
Do you mind us asking what district?
Summers.
Got it, great, and Summers does a lot of cool things too, so that'll be helpful.
Todd Vogels, I have a son in kindergarten.
And Holly Lopez, a son in kindergarten.
Amy Hall, I have a kindergartner and a 2nd grader receiving services.
I'm Sarah Baranowskis. I'm the K-5 math and science curriculum leader here at Suffield, also working on an internship, administrative internship. So I'm here as well to observe and see the communication.
Awesome.
Morning, good evening, everyone. Good morning, that's how my day has gone. I'm Scott Dunn, principal of Spalding School, pre-K to grade 2.
I'm Karen Carpenter Snow, principal of McAllister Intermediate School, grades 3 through 5.
I'm Melissa Mack. I have a 4th grader receiving services and a 3rd grader.
I am Sue Davis, and I have a 8th grader, a 6th grader, and a 4th grader.
Hi, I'm Melissa Finnegan. I have a 6th grader, a 4th grader, I can't remember, no, and a kindergartner. And my 4th grader is currently on a 504 plan. So.
There's a sign-in sheet going around. If you could just make sure that everyone is just signed in. Keep you abreast of things that are going on.
Yeah, we missed you, we missed? You wanna introduce yourself? Did everybody hear that?
You want to tell us who you are?
From the JI.
Oh,
Oh, hi. I'm Jonathan Metcalf. I have the same 2 kids as far as I know as Dawn Metcalf, 10 and 12-year-old. The 10-year-olds in district.
John, do you just want to say something? People are new about what you're doing, so they.
I am taping this meeting, which will be posted on YouTube and then be on Facebook for people who were not able to attend.
Where do you put it on Facebook, just so they know?
I usually put it on the Suffield forum, and I'll also put it on the Spedpac site as well. It takes a little while because the upload speeds are slow.
Good evening, Steve Macchio, principal at the high school.
Gina Olarchik, assistant principal at the high school.
Nancy Taylor, I'm the director of special services, and it's nice that so many of you made a commitment to come tonight. Thank you.
And there's a lot of new faces here today too, so we wanted to just kind of go over what the process is. We have an agenda, and Nancy does have a presentation for us. We come together as a district to discuss issues in the district, come up with ideas. There's a little paragraph here. Basically, it was an opportunity for parents and people who work in the system to work together, provide input, questions, those sorts of things. It is not a place to bring personal issues. This is really, especially if it's being taped, it's confidential. that should be done in a private meeting. That if there's something that's happening in the school, or that's happening repeatedly, if we can keep it without having a personal touch, it would be very helpful to everyone. We also want to remind everybody that we want to model, as parents, the behavior we want to see of the people that are working for the school system. We have an opportunity to show them how we would like to be treated as parents.
I'm just gonna clarify that, meaning if you have, things that you came tonight for our question, section, which we're gonna get right into, that are pertaining to the district as a whole, they're welcome. Individual issues that you might have with your child only, that you can't see any other parent actually having, those are the ones who really, we're not really kind of here to discuss because of confidentiality. Nancy can't get into specific details about your child, that kind of thing.
But Nancy is reachable, Nancy's N. Taylor at Suffield.org, 668-3801. So you all know your wonderful building principals, and also Mr. Pierce who's in here, so we're also, for individual students, we're all here to support you. And then we are taping, so if you're uncomfortable being on tape, or, some of you have older kids, it's a little touchy subject, so I think we just want to be cautious of that as well, too. That we hadn't really discussed that, but this is out now. Pretty much everyone who's here is generally here because they have a student with special needs. So there's a lot of confidentiality in the room, and we just want to be cautious of that. And we've been thinking about that a lot, and we need to have an open discussion on how everybody feels about that as well in the future.
But not tonight.
Not tonight, no, not tonight. But in the future, it's probably something we need to address, because I think some parents are not as comfortable as others being on, on TV with their discussing stuff that may be embarrassing to their kids or uncomfortable or whatever. Something to keep in mind. Okay.
So can I ask before we get started, I have something else I'd like to add to, I have a question about something I wanted to get some input from people on, under new business, and I think if I may, Holly had something that she brought and has shared with people that would be nice to maybe give her a minute to flyer, get flyers.
Sure, I do, yes.
Just to make sure we save time to get to those two.
Well, do you wanna do that now then?
Would you like to start or?
Let's go here. Go ahead.
Sure. My name is Holly Douglas, as we said, we have a child in the district, and anybody who is here now or comes in, I do have flyers. It is for Spedpac of Connecticut. The group is a not-for-profit organization. It's a support group, not a legal advocacy group. And it's parents seeking legal advice should obviously consider contacting a professional advocate or lawyer. So we just have to disclose that. Kit Savage is from Darien, Connecticut, is the woman who has started this group across Connecticut. And it's the only grassroots group, united parents of children with all disabilities across the state of Connecticut. And then I'll just read it off the bullet points. The idea behind Spedpac of Connecticut is to empower parents and the united voice across the state of Connecticut to advocate in all matters relating to education of children with disabilities. To educate parents in the latest data from the State Department of Education that once again shows there are problems in our special education students' outcomes, and the outcomes remain dismal. To inform parents of a format for organizing parents locally within their communities. Building one parent network across the state to represent parents across the state. Identifying systematic problems parents experience within their PPT process, and advocating for stricter enforcement of consequences for districts that consistently and systematically fail to comply with the state and federal law. So these are some of the topics that Spedpac does touch on, and then on the bottom there's two opportunities for parents in Connecticut to meet. One is Friday, April 22nd, and the other is Tuesday, April 26th, with an RSVP date on the bottom to Kit Savage, who is the director of Spedpac. And we do have more flyers there in the back if you would like to grab one before you leave. Oh, in the front now.
You're sorry.
Thank you. It's okay.
I'm
We're
moving
moving.
Where are the two meetings? That's on the 26th and 27th?
They're at Fairfield Public Library.
They're both at the same place?
They're both at the same place, yes.
There's another group that, I don't know if, it's a SEPTA group, it's from Amy McCoy, Google
in
Group
Glastonbury.
North Central. There's a Google Group North Central, and I get it all the time, with activities. So this one, on Sunday, there's something called Make Up, Try It Out, for students, On the spectrum, it's about play-based and skill-based activities.
Is that the Autism Connecticut?
I don't think so. So,
Yeah, Autism Connecticut.
okay.
Yeah.
So is that something people are aware of? As a,
I think what Spedpac is more of a parent advocacy group, where I feel these other groups are more meaningful together.
yeah, I didn't say it was the same thing, I just thought it was a,
Parents are aware of this, yeah.
this is another nice thing for parents to be aware of, that, I know people are looking for activities too, so. Any questions for Holly? I'll ask my question.
If we get a copy, we can scan it and send it out too.
Yeah, it's coming around.
And we'll share it with all other groups as well.
Do they have meetings closer?
Right now it's just a Franco County, because that's where Fit Savage is based out of, but she does travel.
So we could have her come to a meeting?
You could have her come to a meeting, absolutely. The email is at the bottom of the page.
I think there's another group in Norwich too, that's run by a dad who's an attorney that is doing the same thing. They started around the time the Moore Commission was on the Moore Commission, so. It might be a little closer.
So I just wanted to ask, we are, looking at doing services differently at the high school next year for a couple reasons. One, because we haven't seen our kids make the gains that we wanted them to make with what we're doing currently. Because we're finding that, so we wanna go to a more skills-based program. And we are, it's also gonna be something where kids can earn credits, and sometimes that's an issue for kids who are struggling, is they may be short a credit or two, and it's a way to, it seems really important to our students to graduate on time. So we can do this as a class that really has content and work material, they're working on it differently than resource. I started working to get a bunch of kids together to talk to, be a group next, hopefully once this year, and then next year to meet and be like an advisory group of the kids on how it's going. But I had a parent at a PPT say it would really help to find a way to share this with parents at the high school and help them better understand that. So I wanted, you know, I mean, we could do an evening, I could do a letter, I don't know what ideas you think, we could do both, that would be helpful for parents as a way to understand, you know, this is something that's been done in other schools successfully. I did work on it where I was before here. You know, how do we help parents understand? Because there's concerns, because kids are going to be able to do all their homework there. And there may be kids who still need to do some homework, but we want our kids to develop their literacy and math skills and study skills as a priority. So, thoughts on ways that to communicate it out to parents from you guys?
When is that going to start?
It'll be starting in the fall.
Oh, for this one?
Yep.
Yeah, I think the best thing in communication is to try to get communication out before it starts rather than while it's happening. Because I think a lot of times things start, or changes are made before the information goes out and people sort of hear it through chatter, and it's a small town and.
So do you think I should do it, so does that mean you
Don't
think I
think
should
that's
get it
sort of
out
a-
like in the next month for next year? Should I do
Yeah,
it
because
over
I think
the
if people have
summer?
questions
So-
or issues,
okay,
you want
all
them
right.
to have time.
I think you have to send it in multiple blasts.
Yeah.
I think if you have in multiple media would be my suggestion. I think, you know, we like to think everything's digital, but a lot of parents don't do that. So I think you need to send it out in a multi-layered effect as well as a multimedia. effect.
So, send a letter, actually send an actual paper letter home.
Yep. And then I would put it on the website. I would send a blast email.
These are the changes.
Newsletter,
Text,
newsletter
you
for
could
the
do
high school.
texts, yeah, newsletters for, you know, both, I think middle school and high school, because some of the middle
Coming up.
schoolers are coming into the high
Right.
school.
Yeah, I think they should do that for everybody.
It would be a good forum for a topic of discussion here at a Spedpac meeting, so parents can have input on a program that's gonna affect their child's education.
Maybe June.
Yeah.
If you have a May planned already, but June would be good
Yeah.
before.
Are there any events happening in high school that will gather a bunch of parents, so that you have a captive captive audience that you can.
The thing is, it isn't for the whole school, it's just for students who have special ed needs, so.
What about the unified theater show? Kind of pairs the typicals and have some kind of table, maybe, a visual.
To get the word out, you're talking about, Mary?
Invite them.
Should I do evening, or should we use Spedpac? I mean,
Well, it affects special education kids, right? I mean, we're talking about the resource rooms, and now they're gonna be getting credit for it, so I mean, I would reach out specifically to high school, you know, tease out of our K through 12 system.
Yep.
Tease out the high school kids that it's going to affect, and, you know, personalize a letter to each parent, so that it's mailed to them, and have a night, and RSVP to Lauren, and whoever shows up gets the spiel.
The other thing is, I mean, I think you could have the guidance counselors, or whoever, I don't know how the high school works, I don't have anybody in there yet, but, you know, they'll be, and they can make a phone call and make it personal and.
I think they're talking about it, the case managers are talking about it with parents too, so.
How many kids are you talking about, Nancy? Do you know?
Just under 100. So it's about 90.
Wow.
So I don't know that we need to bring it to Spedpac and have an entire meeting, since this population, is there anybody in high school here? Not so much, this generally attracts younger students, but that doesn't mean we don't want them here, but, maybe just do it, I think directly to parents in a
That
letter.
would be awesome, actually, if either one of you were available to come with me, that may be a great recruiting event for Spedpac.
Sure,
Nancy, we
absolutely.
could, we could put it on our next PAC meeting agenda.
It actually was already planned to be on that, but
Okay, great.
That's also a small group of parents, so it would be great to be able to invite, maybe do a special invite and have a special event, you know, to do that.
Okay, well, that's really helpful, so, and we
It's
are
difficult
also,
for Spedpac, because of confidentiality, the school can't give us their names. So we can't,
No,
unless they
right.
come to us.
Right.
We can't.
I really think this is a great opportunity for kids to have some chance to have some voice. And, I think that sometimes students with special education needs don't identify themselves as having, leadership skills. I'm really trying to pick some kids who I think this would really give them an opportunity to see themselves that way. So I hope, I hope to be able to talk to you about that as something that's, benefiting kids.
Did you say you were putting together, in the planning, putting this together, you were trying to put together an advisory group
Yeah,
as
I
well?
wanna put a kids advisory group together about it, so they have a chance to have input. I think it's gonna take a while to get to the place we want to be, so, you know, the kids working on it, I think it's really gonna help us get there. They have some good ideas.
Oh, I think it's a great idea to get the kids involved, because I think they're very good at identifying what they'd like to see happen. Sometimes they come up with some really phenomenal ideas.
So, okay, thank you.
Alright, so we can open it up to some questions?
Do you want me to go through these that were on the,
Yeah, why don't you
these
do that?
questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I can start.
If that's all right.
She's gonna go
She
through.
has some questions that we've
Oh,
actually
nice.
submitted to her, and then we can open it up.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Let
forgot.
me answer the question.
Paras and the paras not having as many paras in the budget, what this says is that people are confused by that how can we reduce paras in that scenario? So when we started the school year this year, there were 5 para positions that weren't filled before the school year started. And then over the course of the year, we, have had 10 people, resign. And every single time that's happened, we've looked at, what do students need, and are they getting what they need, and do we need to have this para? And there were times where, and you're not aware of, obviously, you're aware of the ones that we reduced, but there were times we said we're not doing that, because we knew that, and we also did some moving around, between buildings. So, I don't think it's really, been talked about with families in Suffield very much, but The research on students having one-to-one paras is not great. There are certainly students, because of the complexity of their plan, that has value for, but it tends to lead to greater dependence and students being less independent. It's been my observation that we started working on this, and I'll give you some examples how, that our paras have not had a lot of professional development on how to promote independence. So everything that we're doing, supporting students with special needs, is because, we all want them to grow up and be as independent as possible. All children we're doing that with, and the goal is to get them out the door someday, right? So for all of us. We've been doing some training with them on, stepping back and working on fading. So we've done several professional developments with them on reducing prompting and fading prompting. So that can be done. Do you want examples, or do you want me to, should I keep talking about it?
No, can we ask?
I just wanna make sure that I'm, from my perspective, the question is a little bit different than the road you're going down. From my perspective, we're being told, or at least I'm being told, that don't even ask for more supports if it's coming in the form of a human being because it's not in the budget.
Then let's you and I talk about that, because that's not my message.
Well, I don't think it's just an issue am I the only one that's being told this?
No.
Okay, then it's not a me problem, it's a global problem that needs to be spoken about.
Are you talking about a one-on-one para?
Paras,
Or just a para classroom?
I'm talking about, the need for paras in the classroom or a one-on-one. I don't think the issue or the question is really about, nobody wants their kid to have to have a one-on-one para. This isn't the issue. The issue is, do we have enough paras to support what we need? Do we have what we need? My child took a nosedive and I needed more support, and this was the message that I got. And I didn't misunderstand it. This is the message I got. So what's going on? That's the question.
I think a follow-up question is it being appropriately scaffolded for this fade out? Because, some parents are receiving the message that, their child has a one-on-one, and then they go into another school, and well, the child doesn't need anymore, and they do a nosedive because it wasn't appropriately scaffolded to phase out the paraprofessional support. And I think that should be part of the programming, not only for the child to become less dependent, but also
In the transition.
for the transition process.
And the buzz with regular education parents is now, I'm going into volunteer in a classroom and these kids are crazy and out of control and disruptive, and I hear them in the hallways, and I'm like, that's my kid, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely paying attention to that, and it, just so you know, it's trickled into the regular education. It's a problem, big problem.
Well, there's one last thing I was gonna say to that point too, is the fact that many of these paras are the ones that are actually providing directly the services to these children. They're not just walking into the restroom and getting them in between halls, they're the ones that are directly providing it. BCBA calls out, DOT, special education teacher. It's not just as simple as saying, well, we had a deficiency of 5 and now we're gonna cut 10 more, and, well,
Did
it
we
seems like
cut
it's
10?
not.
Because I heard you say 10 resigned, and then I have to ask the question,
So that's
why
just-
are 10 paras running away from this district? Because
That's
that
what I
doesn't
was
sound
thinking
right
too.
either.
Could you just run through the numbers, like how many paras are in the district? What did we start with at the beginning of the school year? What do we have now?
And I believe at the BOE meeting, to speak to that point, they are reducing paras by, I believe it was 10 or 11.
They've already, there's no more paras leaving. There's no more paras. It's basically, there are no additional paras than what we have right now.
But what did we start with and what do we have now? And I'm sorry if this was discussed at a meeting.
It wasn't discussed here.
No, I can give you the numbers. We have 54.5 FTE, which is full-time equivalents in paras. And then we had, you know what, and I don't know if I'm talking the same thing, I'm sorry. We have 15 people, I think it's 15 FTEs. I don't even know if it's FTEs now that I'm saying that. I don't know if it's FTEs or people, which is different because they could be part-time, who have resigned. So, I